Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to our spring refresh group. I intended to come into the group live, but I actually want to reuse this video for another training in another week or so. So I am going to record it and drop it into the group. So if you have any questions as I'm speaking and as you're listening, please drop them in the comments below. My name is Corey Mayo, and I have been in the wellness space for about 14 years. My journey really started around weight loss and getting healthier for myself and for my family, and it has progressed over the years. I'm sure that many of you can relate to that as we learn and grow and we unlock new levels of our wellness journey and being surrounded by others in the wellness space, we start to look at more things around us. How can we continue to elevate our overall wellness and better support our health? This really amped up back in 2018 when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. She caught it very early, and I am thankful to say that she has recovered very well after surgery and did not have to do any traditional therapies after her surgery. My father was also diagnosed with P16 squamous cell of the tongue and throat a few short months later in early 2019. So you can imagine that with both of my parents battling cancer back to back, that I really started to amplify and improve the things that are in our environment, that I have around myself, that I have around my family, doing research to improve my parents' overall health. And not that we're perfect, we are far from, right? It has been a journey of progression and learning and growing and continuing to evolve. So I really want you to have an open heart, and I will speak on this towards the end, but I do not want this to overwhelm you. This is not a conversation to place fear or doubt or have you questioning if you've totally screwed everything up in life because you maybe have done things a bit more traditionally. I was there myself too, and I think that it's super important to understand that as we learn better, we can do better. And as we do better, that does dramatically impact our health in years to come. So even if you have been doing things a bit more traditionally and you're like, Corey, as I'm speaking, I've been using this and that and this and that, and I've totally messed up. No, you haven't. And what we don't know, we don't know. So I do not want you to come from this space of judgment and fear. I want you to open your heart as I talk today and come from a space of awareness and empowerment. And okay, now we know better. What can we start doing today that's going to reduce our exposure to EDCs and what is going to help better support our health moving forward. Okay, so let's break it down. And I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible because I do understand and acknowledge that this information can be incredibly overwhelming. Okay, some of this goes against everything that we have learned or known through our lives. And I don't want that to overwhelm you. I want you to take this and feel empowered. So what are EDCs? EDC stands for endocrine disrupting chemicals. These are chemicals or products, ingredients that are in certain products that can mimic or interfere with your body's hormonal system, the natural flow and state of your hormones. I want to really emphasize because a lot of times when we talk about hormones, we automatically go to reproductive and we only think about the hormones that are involved with fertility, reproduction, and maybe hormonal cancers. Our hormones are signalers in our little messengers in our body that orchestrate many different functions in our body. So I want you to detach from just reproductive hormones. I know that that's the first one that many of us think about, but our hormones actually regulate literally every single function in your body, from your energy, your mood, your sleep, your metabolism, fertility, fat storage, and your stress response. These are the little messengers that are going throughout the day, telling your body what to do and cueing the next thing that's going to happen. So when those signals are mimicked or disrupted, you might feel off and not really understand why. And maybe as an aging woman, I know that a lot of you in this group are in your mid to late 30s, early 40s, and beyond, that sometimes we just kind of take it as, oh, this is aging, this is what it's like to be a woman. But I really want you to take a moment and pause because aging as a woman is a blessing. And yes, we do face some challenges, and sometimes we need some intervention and functional meds to orchestrate feeling better. But there are a lot of things that we can do in our day-to-day routine that are going to help better support our natural flow of our hormones, which then overflows and better supports our energy, our mood, our metabolism, our fertility, our fat storage, and our stress response. Not that many of you are probably thinking about fertility in these years, but it is very important that our cycles are regular. When we are cycling and we haven't started to transition, it's very important that we have a very regular cycle. That is a true indication that our hormones are flowing properly and our body is functioning with more ease and less stress. Okay, so let's talk about where are EDCs found. This is to help you see what to look for, where they can be found to make you more aware. Again, we do not have to throw everything out today. Okay, we do not have to shift everything overnight, but I want you to start taking inventory of the things that are in, on, and around your body, the things that you have in your home that we could start to swap out as we run out of the things that we have currently. So, some common household sources. I'm going to talk about first personal care products, okay, are your skincare products, your lotions, body washes, shampoos and conditioners, makeup, the serums that we put on our face, ladies, perfumes and fragrances. A huge red flag are fragrance and perfume. There are dozens of hidden chemicals in those products. So look at what are you using for a lotion, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, makeup, perfumes, deodorant, and I will speak on that in a minute. And I know that some of you have already commented that deodorant is one of the first things that you swapped out, and I that is incredible because there are so many lymph nodes under our arms, and it is so closely related to our breast tissue, which for women tends to be a dump zone, right? That is where all the things kind of gather that aren't supposed to be in our body. So, yeah, yay for switching your deodorant. The second place that we can oftentimes find EDCs are cleaning products in our home. All-purpose sprays, disinfectants, laundry detergent, and this is a big one because it's something we wear every single day, right? It's in close contact with us all day long. And our dryer sheets. These are often loaded with synthetic fragrances and harsh chemicals. The third area that we can look and observe are our food storage containers and plastics in our kitchen area. Water bottles, Tupperware, plastic wrap, especially when heated in the microwave. It There are so many things that are super convenient to throw in the microwave, the steam packets and all of those things. The more that we can remove the plastic and put them into a glass or ceramic container to heat them in the microwave, or better yet, heat them on a stove or heat them in an air fryer, different things like that, so that we can eliminate the plastics that are being kind of injected and put into our food. It's hard enough that they're already stored in that, but when we heat that plastic up, it really exacerbates that situation. Okay. Number four is food and packaging. So processed foods, canned goods, most cans, even though they're aluminum, they do have a BPA lining, and fast food packaging. So I know that again, these are convenient, but your snack baggies and your sandwich bags that you maybe are putting your kids' food in for packing their lunches, those sort of things are things we want to look at. And the last one I'm just going to touch on and highlight is nonstick cookware. Traditional nonstick pans contain PFAs, which I will kind of go into a little bit more here in a minute. So those are things that we can look at, take inventory of your home. And like I said, we don't have to throw everything out today, but these are certainly areas that we want to start creating more awareness and kind of look at. Where can I make an upgrade? Maybe your birthday's coming up. Mother's Day is coming up. When Christmas is coming around, when you want to upgrade some of those bigger items like your cookware, your pots and pans, your food storage, upgrading from plastic to glass containers, those are all beautiful opportunities to ask your loved ones to help invest in your health and your well-being by asking for some of those upgrades. Okay? So, what should you look for? This is when people get overwhelmed, and I started this by saying, please do not get overwhelmed. We are creating awareness so we can feel empowered and we can start to make some simple swaps that are going to help elevate and upgrade our overall health. Okay. You do not need to know everything and you do not need to change everything at one time. A few key points to look for and be aware of, and as you're purchasing new products to bring into your home, to kind of make that mental note are your fragrances and perfumes, BPAs and BPSs, phthalates, parabens, and PFAs. That's the one that I just spoke about. So PFAs are a man-made chemical used to make products. So these are typically water resistant, stain resistant, non-stick, or grease proof. Okay, so if you weren't sure what the PFAs were, parabens you're typically going to, and even phthalates, you're typically going to find in your skincare routine, your anything with fragrances and things around your body. Your BPAs and BPSs, those are going to be in your plastic water bottles, your plastic food containers, the food storage containers that are made with the black plastic. A lot of meal prep options are made with that. We definitely want to stay away from those because they have added chemicals in them that are released when they are heated. So if you can find I use from Stealth, I believe it's Stealth Health. He has biodegradable cardboard, like bamboo food storage containers that you can write what the food is on it. You can even write the macros on it. That's what we personally have switched to. That is something that is disposable, but it's also biodegradable. So it's earth conscious as well. And then we have several glass containers that we use for meal prep as well. Okay. So let's talk about it. Now that we know and we can start to create awareness, you have not messed everything up. You're not doomed. This is a turning point. This can be an opportunity for you to say, okay, I maybe didn't know, and I maybe have been using some of the convenient options that aren't as great for my overall health, but I can pivot and make some changes moving forward. So take a deep breath. Seriously, take a deep breath. You have not ruined everything. Your body is incredibly resilient. And it does matter if you start to make these changes today and moving forward. The more we can lighten the load of EDCs and the added stresses on our body, the more that our body is going to thrive and recover from the other things that we don't have control over. Because there are a lot of things that are in our environment that we can't control. We can control the things in our home for the most part, right? But we can't always control the things that are in the environment and outside and around us. So, what if we just start to take a couple things and swapping them out now to lighten that load? Here are three top swaps that I would personally recommend. And these are the things that go on your body: lotion, your body wash, and deodorant. Our skin is our biggest organ. It automatically absorbs everything that we put on and around it, right? So, we really want you to think about upgrading your lotion, or we use a body oil from Hue and Grace instead of lotion. Instead of a body wash, we use a cleansing bar. And then your deodorant, using a natural aluminum-free deodorant. I personally use one from Just Ingredients that is a magnesium deodorant, and I absolutely love it. It's what my boys use as well. Those are simple upgrades that are going to impact your health immediately because you are lightening that load dramatically that's going on to your body every single day. A couple things that you can swap in your home, swapping 1 to 2 cleaning products, and then your laundry detergent is a really big one to swap out. And for your food storage and heating your foods, start using glass containers and stainless steel water bottles when possible. I have this all the time. I still have to resort to plastic once in a while, but this bad boy is with me all the time. And I have a stainless steel gallon jug that I take with me if I'm going to be away from the house for several hours and I need to be able to refill without taking plastic with me. So, this conversation today was not about you being perfect. It's not about starting from scratch. It's simply about looking at what you currently have. And as those items get low or run out, how can we upgrade just a little bit to lighten the load of the chemicals and things that we're putting around our body? You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to simply start. Tomorrow, we are going to be highlighting several of the products from Hue and Grace that we all personally love. We started sharing these products because we fell in love with them, what they stand for, and the mission behind them. Hue and Grace is a company that started creating products that we use in, on, and around our body with intention, looking at ingredients that are going to be best supportive for our overall hormone health and our health, and eliminate that added stress that EDCs create on our health, the way that those impact our health. They are all third-party tested, which means they are pure and they are transparent with their ingredients. Especially when it comes to supplements, there is very little regulation when it comes to supplements, what they can put on the labels, and what can be in your supplements. So if you are not reading the label, or if you are not completely sure of everything that's on that label, you definitely want to make sure that you're doing some research and that you're selecting companies that have third-party testing to make sure that the ingredients that they're using are pure and that they are being fully transparent with what they're putting into their products. Okay. So tomorrow morning, we will start sharing our skincare line, some of the upgrades that we have made with our cleansing bar, our body oil, our sunscreen, which is huge. We're going into that season where we're going to be using sunscreen a lot, right? And we want to make sure that we are really using and selecting products that do not have all the added chemicals that we're going to be applying to our skin every single day and our children's skin. These are little swaps that are going to make a big difference. Okay. So, what you do today and how you decide to move forward and eliminating and reducing some of those EDCs that you have in your home right now can make a dramatic impact on the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years of your life. It is never too late to start doing a little bit better when you become more aware and you understand what the products that you're using can do to your overall health. Okay. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that you feel empowered and you've created some awareness to really go back to look under your sink, to look at the products that you have on your countertop, in your bathroom, in your showers, and read the labels and look at what you're currently using. Are you getting low on those products? And can we take a little notepad and start writing down what are some things that we can upgrade today that's going to impact the years to come? If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below.